the best lightweights in the world is back in the house with the most loved and the biggest fan favorite. And now we patiently wait for his next mega fight in the division on his way back to the gold. Dan Hangman Hooker, welcome back to Submission Radio, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's always good to be back with the boys.
Dude, I gotta ask you as well. Like, you're looking pretty comfortable there. What's happening today? You having a bit of a break in between sessions?
Oh, a bit of a break in between. Yeah, bit of a relax in the sun. New Zealand summer's coming up, or it's just clicked over. So, yeah, enjoying some time. Enjoying some time with the family and stuff before we're heading to work. We'll head to work next year.
Well, dude, you mentioning that, I want to wish a very happy birthday to your daughter, Zoey. Looks
Thank
like you
you,
guys
sir.
pulled out all the stops for the big party. Talk us through it. I think there was like a cowboy theme, an ice cream truck.
She
Looked
wanted
like quite the
cowboys.
party.
She wanted cowboys, so we had a couple horses, 2.5 horses. It was a little mini one that the kids could pat, and they had little rides around the backyard. And then, yeah, we had a bit of a bouncy castle, and old Mr. Whippy show up, so the kids all had a good time. It's the main thing.
Very nice, man. Very nice. I got to also ask you as well. Obviously, we're on the heels of a pretty crazy UFC 309. Did you get a chance at all to see this fight between Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira?
Yeah, I caught it. Yeah, just pretty dominant display from Charles over 5 rounds. Yeah, damn near shout out to that last fifth when he kind of let a few shots go, but nah. Besides that, he negated Chandler real well, and yeah, that kind of sets him. That puts Olives right back in the title picture.
What did you think in that 5th round, where Chandler had a couple of bursts, and then he was doing the whole backpack thing with the backdrops? What was your reaction to that?
That's what he is, man. Like, you know, you kind of knew that the battle was lost at that point, and it's like, well, what do? You kind of just muck around and hang out there for a bit, or at least make it entertaining for the fans. And that's something that no one can kind of take away from Michael Chandler, is that he's incredibly entertaining. He's an incredibly entertaining fighter to watch.
What do you reckon a Charlie Olives Islam 2 fight would look like if Islam does beat Arman?
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like, yeah, like before that, leading into it, the fights before that, Olives he would just go out there and kind of disregard the other guy and disregard his distance and just kind of walk through guys with a kind of incredible confidence. And it seemed like he kind of lost that confidence against Islam. And yeah, it's that same thing. Like, the myth of it is bigger than the actual task, and they kind of ride off the back of the myth of Khabib, and then it's kind of that's like bled into Makachev, and you can see it does get into, like, it definitely affected me. Like, it's bigger than the actual guy. Like, if you just boil it down to the actual guy, it makes it quite a bit simpler. But yeah, I'm sure Charles Oliveira has taken his time to get back to the title, and he'll be prepared for that in the second fight.
Yeah, it's interesting because Alex Volko in that first Islam fight really showed that, hey, this guy's human, and you can actually put some stuff into place here. Hey, by the way, Chandler calling for this Conor McGregor fight. What's he doing, man? Doesn't he watch Submission Radio? Doesn't he know who's fighting Conor McGregor? Didn't he see you guys agreed to a fight at BKFC? Does this guy just disregard real information?
Does he not even? Nah, it's like shooting a shot. You know what I mean? Like, Chandler, he's gonna shoot a shot, of course. But even Dana in, like, the post-fight press conference, look, I'm not waiting around for him, and no one's gonna, like, wait around for kind of Conor McGregor. We keep the train rolling. But yeah, when Conor does come back, there's kind of nothing to gain. Like, there's not a person in the division that would turn down a fight with Conor McGregor. There's not a person in the UFC that would turn down a fight with Conor McGregor. But what does, like, Conor get out of it, especially now with Chandler off the back of a loss? You know, not ranked near the kind of the top 5 in that. there's just not a lot to gain from it. Like, what does he get out of beating him? Like, mate, Conor could get a title fight if he come back and he wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one that would turn that fight down. So for him to come back and now, but that's why Chandler sat out for so long, right? Is because you didn't want to lose and then miss out on that Conor McGregor opportunity. But you'd have to say that it's gone with the win now.
Man, gone with 2 years of your career in your prime as well. Brutal stuff for Chandler. But I agree with you, man. Why fight? Like, with all respect to Chandler, he's an exciting fighter, but a lot more to gain for Conor to fight you. Obviously, you're on the win streak. It's a great fight, and I think it actually is a bigger fight now after Chandler lost. Let me ask you this, by the way. What about Max Holloway? He confirmed he's done with 145. He's now going to be in your division, man. He's bringing the BMF belt with him. That makes things pretty interesting, right? Opens up some options for yourself. Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway for the BMF belt, potentially.
Yeah, like that's hell cool. But I don't see like Chandler calling for the BMF. Like, why does everyone keep throwing their hands up for the BMF? It's not up to us. It's not our title. It's the BMF title is for the fans. Like, it's up to the fans to kind of get the steam and get it together. Like, it's like people need to stop calling out for the BMF title, brother. That's the fans' title. It's their fun.
Do you think that it could be you versus Max Holloway potentially next, or is it still Justin Gaethje as the more likely option for you?
Like, I want to stay busy, and just the way in which Holloway was finished, he's gonna need some time off. He's a guy that's quite famously taken his brain health quite seriously behind the scenes and stuff. So I'd expect him to take at least 6 months off, at least 6 months out of the cage, if not. And that's like, for me, that's like erring on the side of caution. So yeah, like that fight will be there in the future. But yeah, we gotta keep the ball rolling, brother. We can't sit on our hands and wait that long.
How likely do you think it is that Justin actually commits to fighting in Sydney in February, man? Obviously, a lot of the fans are asking for you and Justin in Feb. Is that still the target for you, or you reckon Feb's just not going to happen and it's going to be later on in the year, maybe in the States?
Yeah, probably a bit after that. I think I'm not sure. I don't even know who's fighting in bloody February.
Yeah, no one does. I spoke to Drickus a week ago. He's like, I don't even know if I'm fighting in February.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
like,
happening.
It seems like usually like we tend to get like the middleweight title on the Australian cards. You know, there was Yoel Rockhold, and like it seems to always be the middleweight title up for grabs down under in Australia. But yeah. It's going to be a funny one. I'm not sure who's headlining that, but yeah, I'd say it's not me, my friend. I'd say it's not me. February's not the best for me. I got a baby dropping due just after the first week of February, so I'll be playing with fire there, and I'm more scared of the missus than I am of the UFC. So
Smart man. Happy wife, happy life.
We'll pump the brakes on that, and yeah, probably after Feb.
Quick break to thank MANSCAPED and NORDVPN and SAILY for bringing you these programs here today. I want to talk about MANSCAPED first. What? Boom! The Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver is here. It is the game-changing tool that brings the luxury of a professional shave right into your home. Style, that's okay. Just switch to the skin-safe stubble trimmer to keep your stubble looking sharp and polished. Both heads are designed with the skin-safe technology to help reduce razor burn and irritation so your skin feels smooth and comfortable after every single shave. Go to Manscaped right now and use the code word submission. You can use it across the whole website. The Chairman Pro, you can get the Lawnmower 5.0, what about the Beard Hedger, all sorts of great products, 20% off, and you're helping the program, and you get free shipping. That's at Manscaped right now. I also want to welcome SAILY to Submission Radio. What is SAILY? This thing is an absolute game changer. It is a new eSIM service app brought to you by Nord Security, where you can choose several affordable eSIM plans over 160 countries and 8 regions. With SAILY eSIM, you'll always have a connection when needed. If you've ever been lost abroad or badly needed an internet connection with no Wi-Fi spot in sight, you'll understand what a difference a local SIM card can make. An eSIM provides the internet connection wherever you travel and saves you money on roaming fees. All you got to do is have a look at this. You just download the app. Here I am here. I want to travel to Thailand, so I choose that, and boom, it's that simple. All you guys got to do is download the app, go through the prompts, and you guys are sorted. Global and regional plans. You save time. You don't have to wait in line at airports to get a local SIM card. You stay connected. No more wandering around looking for public Wi-Fi. All SAILY eSIM plans are compatible for iOS and Android devices. So what are you waiting for? Download the SAILY app now. Use the code SUBMISSION. Or click the link in the description, saily.com/submission to get an exclusive 15% off and travel in style with SAILY this festive season. And by the way, guys, while you're traveling in style, why not jump on NORDVPN as well? There's exclusive deals right now for Black Friday for all Submission Radio listeners, where you get massive savings plus 4 months extra. That's 4 months extra, and you get that 30-day money-back guarantee. So why not try it today and see the NordVPN difference? And don't forget, you can use one NordVPN account across 10 devices with one single VPN subscription. Don't forget, you can get cheaper prices on things like pay-per-views, airlines, product, all sorts of things, online subscriptions. NordVPN has you covered. Jump on today and go to NordVPN/submission or click the link in the description below. Get that big saving 4-month extra for free thanks to the Black Friday exclusive deal, and jump on now before it's gone. That's NordVPN.com. And now back to the program. Okay. I was gonna say, dude, by the way, Action Bronson, he was on the show just earlier. He's a big Dan Hooker fan. And he was talking, yeah, we were talking a little bit about you, and he was talking about how much he'd love to see you and Dustin Poirier too. I know, like, Poirier is obviously looking for that last fight, and you're kind of more focused on getting the gold. But would you be interested in doing the rematch and doing a number 2 if that did pop up next?
Oh, if that was next, bro. Still to this day, get messages every single day. People message me every single day about that fight, bro. Yeah, it was one of those ones that you could taste it. It was so close to being finished. You could taste it. That's a guy who's, ranked above me, who I think I can beat, and who I know I can beat, and he kicked my ass. And then now I would fight a man for any one of those 3 reasons. So and Dustin Poirier there's ticked all 3 boxes. So that's definitely an option there. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what the UFC wants, and because a lot goes on behind the scenes that we don't kind of see. So I don't know if he'd want to do that for his last fight. To think that I wouldn't want to do it would be silly. But yeah, we'll see.
Dude, I was going to say that I feel like you had him in a big portion of that fight. People keep talking about it because it was a back and forth war. You say he kicked your ass. I say, man, that was an equal ass kicking from both sides, man. In this rematch.
Yeah, well, that's it. I said everyone. I said Dustin Poirier, I'm gonna smash your face in, but I forgot the second part of that, which I will say the next time. I said Dustin Poirier, I'm gonna smash your face in, and I'm not gonna get my own face smashed in. I knew I forgot something. I knew I was forgetting something, bro. That's what I was forgetting. I got the smash in his face, forgot to smash in my own face.
I knew I left the oven on. I love it. Let me quickly ask you this, dude. Jon Jones spinning ninja KO over Stipe. What was your reaction to that performance?
Yeah, pretty clinical. Just a guy at that age have that amount of time off is always going to be a tough ask. Jon, you could see him like catching with those stab kicks.
Yeah,
the stab kicks early in the round. Like I seen him get like hurt a few times from those stab kicks earlier on in the fight, and because the spinning kick was like not even to the liver side, so it's like his body was that compromised that he didn't even get hit on the liver side, and it took him out of the game. But yeah, hell, he's he just beat the heavyweight goat, and there's nothing on paper. There's nothing you can like anyone's accomplishments can be diminished. You know what I mean? Like Jones likes to do it to a lot of people. Like Khabib likes to do it to a lot of people. You know, he even did it to Tom Aspinall and just kind of diminished what he brought to the table and diminished his kind of career. But you can do it to anyone. Like there's obviously a few asterisks on Jon Jones' name when you actually chalk it down at the end of the day. But if you look at the fighter, if you look at his technical skill set, that's the best fighter. And that's the best fighter of all time, and that's very hard to kind of to negate that.
He didn't make that many fans during fight week for his comments about Tom Aspinall. He said he wouldn't do anything for his
Yeah, but
legacy.
he sticks to his playbook, bro. He's like he's very good at what he does. He's obviously you know, he just shouts out God and Jesus and the Bible and America, and the smoke and mirrors come flying up, and you win over most people by singing that song.
Yeah, well, the funny thing was in the octagon, he said exactly what you said. Then when he went to the post-fight press conference, he said when there were less people there, he goes, "Nah,
Yeah,
I
well,
don't think I will fight Tom Aspinall. Actually,
well,
I'll
you know,
fight
like
Alex Pereira."
mainstream fans don't watch the post fight interviews, brother. Those are for the MMA fans, and the MMA fans are not going to miss a Jon Jones fight anyway. So it's like why sit there and try to convince MMA fans of something when they're already going to tune in and watch your fights? Like he's just his job is to just turn the tide of the mainstream audience, and whoever controls that has the biggest kind of bargaining chip.
I know the UFC doesn't really give out FU money, but let's say that fight. Do you think the fight does happen? And also, do you think Tom Aspinall could be the man to beat him?
Oh, like that's you can definitely see that fight. Like that's a hell dangerous fight. Like that's probably that fight probably lends its hand for where Tom is right now and his momentum and his like lack of fearlessness at this stage and how he's performed. Like it'd be very difficult for Jon to get past those first couple of rounds and rely on what he has, which is a very versatile skill set and just a wealth of experience. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think we see that fight. I like. I watched the Pereira fight though. I'm not gonna. I'm not
Well,
gonna
that's the thing, man.
that's a the Pereira is like a double sell. Like if Jon just wants to give up the heavyweight title and let Tom kind of just get promoted to champion, or yeah, you shouldn't even have to after you've defended the interim title. You shouldn't have to fight for it for an undisputed one. If the guy having it doesn't want to fight you, but yeah, like he's
Craziness.
if anyone in our sport is in some to call his shots in the last couple of fights, that's got to be Jon Jones. Like look at what he's done, ridiculous amount of UFC titles, and if anyone can call the shots, and if it's like whether we either don't want to see him or we want to see him again in a super fight. But I would like to see on the two, like the double side sell for that is like you see Jon come back, but then you see Pereira like shoot to be the first like 3 division champion, which would be a pretty crazy accomplishment. So to take the title off the line, for me, it like loses a lot of the reward for the huge risk that Alex would have to take to move up. Like obviously, bro, the size will be a difficult thing to get over. Um, the wrestling side, the wrestling skill set of Jones and the submissions and the size will be huge obstacles for Alex to kind of overcome. So to take the chance at the heavyweight title off the line, probably loses all kind of reward for Alex to even want to take a shot at that. So yeah, I don't see it making sense. I'm like thinking out loud at this point.
Nah, man. What you're saying is basically what we've all been saying all week long. And then, Jon Jones wasn't too happy about the comments, but whatever, man. It is what it is. Hey, let me get a few fan questions out of the way. We told people you were coming on. First question, not from a fan, but from one of our brothers, and Oscar Willis. He wants to know, Dan, why won't you answer my drunk FaceTime calls? What's going on, Dan?
Because you don't even speak English, bro. When I when I answered it, bro. When I answer his phone calls, he doesn't. He's not even if he's calling me 10 times at 3 in the morning in some country on the other side of the world. He's just nonsensical. One time, the last one I picked up was him and Craig Jones, and I picked it up, and no one said anything. I was trying, I was trying to talk to them, and you'd swear that it was on mute, but they were that far gone that they weren't. It was coming in, but like nothing was being processed, and they were just making like they weren't even making any noises. They were just stunned mullets, bro. So I just stared at Craig Jones and Oscar Willis for 5 minutes and then hung up.
Oh man,
That's why, Oscar. That's why.
I mean, look, I think he can turn this around. Oscar, give him a few more drunk calls, and this time I feel like if he delivers, we can turn this around. So the chance is there. You're saying there's a chance. Now, question from Knockout of the Day. Who do you think wins between Islam or Arman? Do you think in this rematch it looks much different?
Oh, that's a tough fight. That's a close fight. Yeah, like it was obviously Arman gave him a lot of trouble on in the first fight, but that was also on short notice, and Islam as well had to prepare for kind of like a big stylistic change in an opponent. Yeah, like once their team's very smart. The Dagestan boys are very smart. They're very, very intelligent at breaking down fighters. There's a lot of knowledge there, and like the handful of things that Arman does well, I'd say Islam might be able to shut those down. Um, Islam's very defensively sound on the feet, and I feel like once he has more time to study and break down Arman's counter wrestling, yeah, I think it'll be a more dominant. I think it'll be a more dominant win for Islam in the second fight.
Man, I'd love to see you versus Arman for the title. Selfishly, what a great build-up and fight that would be.
Boy, would we argue. Boy, would that be fun.
Security guard Steve all over it. All right, last question here from Game Changer. He wants to know, are there any plans for any new tats? What are we looking at? Are we done now, Dan? Are we going to expand? Are there any places to expand? Break it down for us.
Well, I gotta finish this whole arm. That's
very nice.
That's next on my hit list. I gotta get over to the Gold Coast, see my boy Josh Kuhn at Fresh Ink and finish off this arm. That's next on the list. But yeah, everyone keeps asking me about getting new tattoos. But boys, I'm not injured. I was injured. I broke my hand, then I broke my arm. I had 2 arm surgeries back to back. Like I was not allowed in the gym. I was not allowed anywhere near the gym, so I had to keep myself busy. But now, like, I'm just not injured, so I don't really see. Oh, there'll be plenty of time for injuries. There's one thing you can count on in the sport, and you're gonna have to spend some time on the sidelines with injuries and stuff. But not yet. I'll wait till I get injured.
The missus is like, don't get injured, Dan. Don't get injured. No more. All right, guys.
She don't care. She's got as many as me. She's just as covered as I am.
Hey, man, they look great. I got to also shout out for everybody out there in New Zealand. Dan is doing a seminar in South Auckland, November 23rd. So you can get down, meet the man yourself, and learn some tips and tricks from the Hangman. And, of course, follow the man on social media at Dan Hangman as we get ready to find out what the next big fight on the way to the gold is. Dan Hooker, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking some time in the sun and joining us here today.
Always time for you, brother. Thank you very much.